Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. This video is for you, Mia. You asked me how I cut and store my designer series paper in the 6x6. And I don't generally cut and store it. You can do if you want to. I've come up with a few different ways to use it. So let's just get started here. The first way I put together is to take your 6x6 and cut it to 5 1/4 and then subcut it to 4. So you end up with a 5 1/4 by 4 piece, which gives you a 6 by 3/4 piece and then a 5 1/4 by 2 piece. Because basically what you do is you take your 6x6. Sorry, I should have got a piece out earlier. So you basically take your 6x6 and you cut it down to 5 1/4. And that leaves you this long piece here. And then you subcut it into your 2 pieces. To do this demo, I have used the silver and gold 6x6 specialty paper that is a celebration item right now. In Canada, $60 purchase. I believe in the US it's $50 purchase. So these are the 2 cards I made. I used a smoky slate background and I used the Sweet Candy Cane dies and the greeting from Sweet Candy Canes to dress this up. This is a 5 1/4 by 4. And I just used silver heat emboss on it. Double cut the candy canes so they just popped out from the card a little bit. And that's that one. That's using a piece of 5 1/4 by 4. Then to use up the 5 1/4 by 2 pieces, I used 2 different ones. I used the polka dots or snowflakes. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. And the lines. Sorry, I know it's reflecting. I'm trying to make it so it doesn't reflect all over the place. And this is a piece of silver paper that I've had for ages. It was cut with, I think it was Stitched So Sweetly dies that are retired now, and the big numbers that are retired. But these leaves and the 25 are in the real red and white 6x6 glimmer paper that is in the new mini catalog for fall. So that's how I put together or used the 6x6 pages for that. So I'm just going to pop those out of the way for now. The next one is taking the 6x6 paper. So again, you've got your 6x6 paper, and I trimmed it down to 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Because 5 1/2 and 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 is the full face of a standard North American card. So I cut a 1/2 inch off to make it 5 1/2, and then I rotated it and cut another 1/2 inch off. So you end up with a piece 5 1/2 by 5 1/2, a piece 6 by 1/2, and a piece 5 1/2 by 1/2. And then I subcut this. You end up having to put it through your paper trimmer on an angle, and then you get 2 triangles, and then you put the triangles in and you cut them in half to get these 1/4 square triangles. When you've put it in your cutter, don't start the blade off the edge, because what'll happen is it'll dent that edge and you won't get a crisp edge. Just bring it in a little bit, back up, and then cut straight down. So this is the card I made with this. The background is a piece of 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 to cover the full card front. And I wanted it to look like an envelope. So I cut the dotted piece to 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and then I used one of these triangles, which ends up, this edge here is 5 1/2 because that's what you cut your paper to. So it fully covers this. I wanted it to look like an envelope, and then I used gold heat emboss and the Sending Smiles greetings and dies, and it says sending sunshine to brighten your day. So I wanted it to look like an envelope. So that's what I've done with that one. And then there's a simple subcutting it to 3 by 3. So you cut it 3, then you cut it at 3, and you end up with 4 squares, 3 inch by 3 inch. So what I did is I had this gold heart that I'd cut out. I think it was using the Love Always set. I took a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the Designer Series paper, then one of my subcuts in the 3 by 3 and put it on. Then I put my heart on, and then I used gold embossing powder and the Congratulations from the Peaceful Moments set, and then a stitched rectangle die to finish off the card. So there's lots of different ways you can use your 6 by 6 paper. It's just how you cut it. And I generally don't cut mine up. I used to cut it up into 5 1/4 by 4 and all the small pieces, but I found it really limited what I was able to do with all of the extra pieces. So I hope that has been helpful in sorting out how to use your 6 by 6 Designer Series paper. Thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.